And just like that, we are back.
Just like that.
Welcome to another episode. I'm here with another very, very special guest. He is a fitness influencer working with brands such as Alpha Lion, Elysium, newest team member of Celsius. This is Adam Ramirez.
How's it going? Thank you for having me, brother. I appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. And I've been revamping this whole thing and focusing on fitness and what people look for out of fitness, how they got involved in fitness.
Yeah.
Everything centered around it. And now these days, social media is a big part of fitness and vice versa. And you kind of embody both of those roles and doing
Absolutely.
it in a unique way, I'd say, compared to most of the other people I personally see online. So that intrigued me, and I kind of wanted to pick your brain, see how it's like being, I don't know if it's like its own category, but I feel like it should be. You're like, well, not like you are focusing on Jesus and Christianity and using fitness as kind of your alleyway to drive
Absolutely.
God's
Faith
word.
and fitness.
Mm.
Absolutely.
So we'll start at the beginning. Growing up, did you play any sports or do anything?
So, yeah, I
athletic growing up?
did soccer for a lot of my life. But then come high school, it was football. A lot of football. Started left bench on varsity. I wasn't crazy like that, but I did play football. And then I also did cross country junior year of high school. And, yeah, cross country, soccer, and football. Those are my three sports. Gym-wise, I lifted because of football. So I was always in the gym. But I grew up really skinny, hence the cross country era junior year. But, yeah, the gym was always a huge part of my life. And senior years, and it kind of just took off, and I took it really serious. Went from 130 to 170 in just a few months, just because everything just kind of happened right after high school. It just kind of went all in.
Dang. How did that happen? Just eating a lot and lifting a lot?
Eating a lot, lifting a lot.
And then your body just
I went from
take off.
running all the time, because cross country, you're running constantly. Like I remember, so the way that happened was, I'm super involved with my church. So I'm a youth leader at my church, and at the time I was an intern under my youth pastor. And I kind of decide, do I want to go play football junior high school or do the internship at my church? 'Cause I told my coach, I was like, I got to miss out like 2 days out of the week because I got to intern at my church. And he's like, you can't miss football practice. You got to be at football. If you play football, you know it's serious. It's almost like a full-time job. And I was in a decision junior year. Do I go the football route and do I want to pursue this in college, or do I want to further my relationship with God and help lead the next generation? And I ended up going with the internship under my youth pastor junior high school. Continued that out. And with that, the cross country coach heard this, and he's like, so Adam, I heard you can't play football because you're missing a practice. I know, yep, I can't play, coach. And he's like, all right. He's like, what about cross country? They're like, nah, you're not catching me in short shorts. That's not happening. And he's like, come on, just try it. I'm like, your sport's my punishment in football. That's not happening.
Seriously.
And he's like, no, Adam, just try it. You can't hate it, so you try it. And I was like, you know what? I'll give it a shot. So I tried it for like a week. And at first, terrible. I was gassed because, like I said, from football, because you're getting like mini breaks in between, cross country is nonstop. Mm-hmm. And I trained. I think like after like 2 weeks, your body got used to it somewhat, and I ended up actually loving it eventually, and quickly started hitting PRs, running faster and faster. But because of that, I lost a lot of weight really, really fast because you're running cardio constantly, and lost a bunch of weight. And then senior year, my schedule turned around. The internship changed. I was able to play football senior year, but that's kind of how the cross country era started. The coach heard I couldn't play football and said, we're okay with you missing a practice. Come run across country. And I was like, all right, let's do it.
How did you feel like everyday life, studying, going home, doing homework, your sleep schedule? How did you feel when you were running a lot more and you had less muscle mass overall compared to when you started lifting heavy? And because, I mean, you have the same skeletal structure, same frame, but one's 40 pounds lighter. Do you remember having like more dreams when you had more weight, less crashes? Could you feel anything outside of just your actual sports, like when it came to your body type?
I know when it came to running, it's definitely a lot of mental clarity when I ran. I noticed that, like, really clear mental. It was like also I was almost at peace because you're running and getting this mindset of it's nothing. It's just me moving my arms and my legs and we're just going. Versus like lifting, I'm putting all my emotion in this. I'm thinking of every thought, like every negative and good thought. I'm throwing it all in the gym. So it's like, it's like I'm going at a peaceful, this is clarity, we're going to go for it. Versus the gym, it's like, I'm putting my all into this. I'm thinking of everything that went bad to me. I'm going to lift this weight up. So it's like two different almost, how do I put that? There's two different ways of going at it. One way is we're just gonna go. This is my peaceful place, and one other one's like, no, I'm giving this my all. We're lifting this weight up and just moving.
How would you describe your training style now?
My training style now is just lifting heavy and happen to make God's temple look better. At the end of the day, it's just doing it for God, doing it for His glory, and show you work hard, you can make this happen. And it's just inspiring the next generation to not only be strong physically, but also be strong spiritually.
Did you have any inspirations when you first started, that people that were doing what you want to be doing and what you're doing now?
Yeah, so big one is Alex Eubank. That was my biggest inspiration. I was just scrolling on Instagram one day and I saw his post and I'm like, this guy's kind of cool. He's like me. He loves God, loves the gym. And I just started getting in the gym, like brand new, got broken up with. It's a whole thing. And obviously, heartbreak equals the gym most of the time. And I got introduced to Alex Eubank and I started watching him like, this guy is super cool. Like I want to be where he's at one day. And eventually I worked hard and I actually ended up making a TikTok eventually because I got inspired by Alex Eubank because I saw him doing it. And once I saw that, I got this video idea one day. I'm going to ask Alex Eubank to go to the gym with me, which realistically at the time, that sounds crazy because at that time, Alex Eubank was popping like crazy, like 2 years ago. And I was like, I'm just going to make this video. Day one, I've asked Alex Eubank to go to the gym with me for my 18th birthday. And well, after day 14, the video went super viral. Alex Eubank duetted it. His went a lot more viral than mine and said, we're flying him out. I'm buying your ticket, buying you a hotel. Come pull up.
What?
So 18th birthday, I got flown out to lift with him. And after that, everything took off from there.
Dang.
Ended up becoming an Elysium athlete for his clothing brand shortly after. And then another supplement company happened, Alphaline. And it all kind of just took off after that.
Wow.
Got inspired by Alex Eubank, and now I'm one of his top athletes. So
Wow.
definitely a blessing how that all works out.
What were you thinking on the plane right over there?
I was like, there's no way this happened. So this is a side of the story not a lot of people know is that was low-key. It's part of my testimony as a man of God. It's part of my story. So like I said, I helped lead a youth group, right? And I was doing like this mini devotional before worship. And I was like, all right, guys, we all have that dream celebrity. Some people, it's Michael Jordan. You would have playing basketball with Michael Jordan would be sick. Realistically, probably not going to happen. I'm like, I know for me, I'd love to live with Alex Eubank. Realistically, that'll never happen. But he's a really cool dude. I'm like, but there's someone way better than all these celebrities. You're going to spend time with God tonight and worship. And that was just kind of my like analogy there. Like you're spending time with someone a lot better than these people, the creator of the universe, spend time with God tonight. And later that exact night, we're talking about how there's no chance I ever lived with Alex Eubank. He duetted my TikTok that exact same night, which is crazy. So I'm freaking out because I'm thinking, okay, is this really happening? Like I'm about to meet Alex Eubank. Low-key fanboyed, but lo and behold, it was there. I think the initial reaction was I was just in shock because I'm like, there's no way. This is Alex Eubank. Like, what? But it was a blessing. The trip it didn't even feel real. Like, it was so like, I remember there's a snap memory of me just like in shock. Like, after everything was said and done, I'm like, what do I do? Like, I lifted with Alex Eubank. And I was like, I thought that was the biggest thing at the time, biggest accomplishment in my life. I'm like, that is crazy. Is there more? And I was like, what else is there to do? Like at that time, I wasn't for sure about social media or not, if I wanted to take it seriously. I was like, literally the whole point is I want to live with Alex Eubank. And here we are still doing it. And God's grown the platform like crazy since then. But Alex played a huge part of my whole social media journey.
So a big question is never meet your heroes. How was it actually meeting him? And was his social media image reflective of like who he actually was and what you got to experience?
Yeah, he was a real genuine guy. Honestly, a good amount of people being on social media aren't who they are in real life. And that's just the reality of social media. Social media tends to be fake. So I was going in not really sure what to expect going to Alex Eubank because keep in mind, we're total strangers. We just happened to make a TikTok that duetted each other. One went really viral. And I just meet there. He seemed genuine. I mean, he's a little introverted of a guy. Like he said that on social media before, but everything he preached, he practiced, and it was really cool. It's like I knew him just from watching his videos. And then he left me with words of encouragement, gave me tips on how to grow on social media. And I took that. And I think the one really big thing that stuck with me is he told me this quote. And it was like, you need to stop worrying about the numbers, the success, chase after significance. Chase after significance, and success will always follow. And I was like, dang, that's tough. Chase after significance? Like, what does that mean though? So I just sit there and really think about it. And I'm like, what's my significance I can bring to the platform? Everyone has their one thing. What is my one thing? Because I don't want to worry about the numbers. I just want to worry about my one thing. And then I realized, I'm so passionate about God and where I am in ministry. I want to put that on a platform. And that was my significance, was doing it for God. And then lo and behold, here we are. It's crazy what God can do for number one in your life.
That's so cool. That is nice that when you got to be there and meet him and hang out with him, it was just as cool as you would had hoped, because I've had experiences where it's, if I cross this one thing off my goal list or meet this one person that I want to meet, life is going to be better. This is going to be as cool as I hoped, and I'm going to feel better, and it's going to lead to more success. And more times than not, you get there, you get to that goal, you meet that person. It's like, damn, yeah, damn. I thought this was going to be cooler. I thought this was going to mean more. I thought this was going to feel better. So that's cool that you got to not only meet your hopes and dreams, but then kind of alley-oop off of it and
I'm
continue
still
to
in
grow.
touch with him, and his dad's really, so he like, his dad is a huge part of his clothing brand. So I'm still in touch with his dad. They've, since that trip on my 18th birthday, I've been to Maryland 2 or 3 other times where they flown me as an Elysium athlete, literally just to make content and hang out with Alex and his team. Mm-hmm. So it's like we're still in a good relationship. It's not like it's not like it was just because I had a viral video, or it was just that one time. It was a fan thing. We're gonna do it one time. He didn't do it just for the views. He just did it because he was a genuine guy, and he kept that relationship with me, which is really cool. So, but yeah, it was really cool. That's how I went from this one little TikTok of just me fresh out of high school saying I want to lift Alex Eubank to now, I guess, being what I looked up to and wanting to be in that position and almost being there. It's really cool.
Mm-hmm. Now you're gonna have some kid in geometry in school being like, dang, I want to live with Adam.
There's been some crazy stuff like that. So there's this one guy, actually, he lives on the west coast of Washington. He DM'd me, hey, is there any way I can live with you for my birthday? And I'm like, there's no way. It's a full circle. So I was like, absolutely, bro. Where do you live? And it was like, I don't even remember. It was like a 3-hour drive. He's like, I'm more than willing to drive out to see you. I'm like, all right, bro, let's run it. So he drives out all the way to my gym here in Spokane, lifted with me. I gave him like a shirt from my clothing brand and pre-workout. It was just like, I appreciate your support. But it was a really cool feeling. That's like the 3rd time it's happened. Like there's been a bunch of guys that have wanted to live with me, and I'm like, me? I'm just a normal dude. I got a normal job. I go to school. It's cool. It's crazy. Like, it's definitely like, it doesn't even feel real knowing that I went from senior in high school, literally was, honestly, into high school was a really hard time for me. I dealt with a lot of dark things, and to being here now is just night and day, and it's crazy. Like I said, what God can do is insane.
What were you going through?
Man, so I don't really share about this stuff, so but we'll share it here because it's just it's a part of, if it wasn't for these things, I wouldn't be where I am today. And honestly, so I was born and raised in church, hence why I'm such a crazy church Jesus freak over here. But born and raised in church, my mom's always been the children's pastor, and I was always involved with the church constantly. And I would say I was like a Christian, just an average church boy, and lived my life just as that one, I guess, oddball out. Because in Texas, I was born and raised in Texas, lived there 13 years. And I ended up getting bullied a lot as a kid because I have a really extroverted personality. I'm hype. And at the time, they took that the wrong way. It's like, this dude's like weird. Like, what is he doing? Like, I was always standing out, and like I low-key got bullied for it in Texas. Then my dad got a job in Arizona, so I moved to Arizona for a year. Same deal, got bullied in Arizona a lot. And I was like, what is wrong with me? Like, what? But then we moved again here to Washington, and same thing. Well, no, moving here to Washington was a really good thing because I was like, fresh, clean plate. No one here knows me. I got this. So then we got freshman year of high school. I joined the football team because I was like, I had to make some kind of friends. And I started playing football. I get like 1 or 2 really good friends. And then some just drama goes on between us. And then like my best friend, I lose him for a little bit. And it's like, dang, I have no one. I had like one good friend, now he's gone. Like, what? And then start dating this girl, me and her end. And it's just, after that, it was this is junior high school. I'm all over the place. I got a lock in here. Okay, junior high school. I was obviously still interning at my church, and I really wasn't living what I was preaching, But you see it a lot where the people, like lukewarm Christians, what they call them. And that was low-key me junior year of high school. I was in this really, really toxic relationship. And because of that relationship, it left me alone. I lost all my friends because I cut them off for the relationship. So I lost all my friends. I basically was left really alone. Me and that girl ended things. Left super alone, and it was the darkest place I've ever been in because I'm like, my friends had nothing to do with me. I lost this girl that I thought was love of my life. Mm-hmm. I have nothing. Like, what is this? So I literally just felt like everyone hated me, and it sucked. Thinking, I was like, no one hates me. I mean, everyone hates me. No one cares about me. That was my mindset, and I almost took my life twice because of it. I ended up going to counseling and therapy, and my counselor was like, Adam, you're so involved with your church. Why don't you actually practice what you preach and like start like reading your Bible, praying? Why don't you just try it out? And I'm like, that's valid. I'll try it. So then I do that, I started meeting with my youth pastor, and he like started pouring into me and discipling me and leading me. And literally a week into really diving deep into my church and my relationship with God, all that went away, which was crazy. Like literally a week, then my counselor talks to my parents, they're like, he's good now. It took a week and he's good now. And they're like, what, a week? He's like, yeah, he's good now. Like, it's like there's nothing ever wrong with him. Which is, so yeah, I found fulfillment no longer in I got to find fulfillment and approval from other people. I just got to find it in God. And that was my mindset. And that's kind of when the gym started happening too, during that dark time. Was I got strong physically, I got strong spiritually, and then eventually got strong mentally. Because in my mind, all three of those go hand in hand. You can't have one without the other. Because I can be as big as I want, but if I'm not good here, I'm going to feel terrible. Body dysmorphia, that sucks. But they all go hand in hand. And then once I truly got strong in all three aspects of that, that's when I really felt fulfilled. Just my life changed around from feeling really depressed and alone in this world to now being able to share my story of how I went from dealing with all these suicidal, bad thoughts to now being here helping others be away from that. You know, there's people in my DMs sharing some crazy stories that they went through, and whether it be breakups, because a lot of my audience are like high schoolers, and they share like breakups with me, like, Adam, she's loved my life. What do I do, bro? My life's never going to turn around. And I'm like, look, God has someone for you. It's in his hands. In the meantime, what you're going to do is just work on yourself, become the best version of yourself. And then the next girl with me, your better potential. Like, it's just really cool seeing how I went from that place of really no direction, feeling really alone, to now being here where it's like I'm able to inspire hundreds of thousands of people to get strong physically and spiritually. And then just finding true peace and confidence and joy is honestly just, it's great. And I love it.
Do you remember the exact passage you read or the prayer you prayed or the thing you heard on the radio to kind of flip that switch in your head for you that week after you decided to get closer to God?
Yeah, so right after me and that girl ended things, I hit up my youth pastor, and I'm like, hey, this just happened. I don't know what to do. I'm really here. He's like, all right, meet up with me right now. Which his name, I love this guy so much. Like if it wasn't for him, I would probably still be living this like lukewarm almost life of not really sure what I want to do. But he pulled me aside. He's like, all right, look, Adam, here's what the Bible says about this. Here's how you should deal with it. And it was just how I took a picture of the Post-it note. And there was this one thing he said where it was like, there's a lie of if she looks bad, I look better. But at the end of the day, if you just see how God sees her, you look better. And when I stuck with that, I was like, okay. So he like helped me like deal with that breakup. And then he started putting me on to like preach. Now, when you start preaching, you dive really deep in the word. And he started telling me how to preach. And then once I really read the word and like being so involved in going through the motions over and over, just something flipped. It was just something about it where it was like, wow, this is good. I love this. And I think it was after I preached my first sermon, I just felt so like, this is what I want to do. I love this. And that's when I was like, all right, I'm on the right path. I just got to keep it going. So I think it was just preaching and practicing over and over and building that relationship, because like, look at the gym. You can't go to the gym once a week and expect to have an insane physique. That's just not how it works. And I look at it at the same way. That's how I look at my relationship with God. Is I can't go to church once a week and expect to be better just like that. Like, that's not how it works. For me to be my best potential, it's a relationship. And to build a really strong relationship, you spend time with that person daily. In my opinion, it's the same way as God. It didn't happen for me. I wish I could say that it was a one-time done. I was 100% good. Like, sure, there was that one pivotal moment where I met with my youth pastor and he poured into me and it helped. But it was just a process of spending time with God every single day, because you can't have a close relationship with someone you don't know and only see once a week.
How hard is it, or not hard for you, to be competing online with so many people that are against what you're practicing and preaching as far as how to walk in the Christian life? How is it to use the same platform that everybody else in the world is using, but to try to bring some different light to it?
Yeah, it's hard just because it sucks. Everyone has their opinions, and that's okay. It's a good thing that everyone has their own opinions. But the way I look at it is, if I could at least, some people in this life will never step foot in a church. I might be the only church they'll ever go to, so I'm just going to reflect Christ in any way I can. If you don't want to watch my content, cool, but if you see me one time and I just plant that seed, who knows, maybe down the road you'll be introduced to God. So it's just me and my mindset. If you hate on me, I'll take it, because I got thick skin, thankfully. Shout out getting bullied. But it's just being like, all right, you know what? They're obviously going through a lot, because hate stems from one thing, that's being envious. Because a person might be like, I could never do that. Like, I could never put myself on this platform and have other people look at me. So I'm going to judge them for that. That's where hate is from being envious of someone, realizing I want this, but I can't have it. And I'll never be able to do that. So I'm going to hate on them because it's human. That's where hate stems from. And when you look at it from that perspective, I'm no longer, this sucks. Why are you hating on me? It's honestly, I feel sorry that you're going through this. So I'm not going to reflect that hatred. I'm going to show love to you, and you keep showing love. They'll eventually just be chill, because if you just show hate back, all you're doing is multiplying. That's gonna get worse and worse. But if you're showing love, they're like, wait, I'm so confused. Why is this person like being nice to me after I'm just hating and tearing them down? Because here recently, I had a video do really well. It was talking about like my missing rib. Because I was with my best friend Matthew and his girlfriend Hope on the boat, and I was like third wheeling, like, this is my missing rib. And the video on TikTok got so much hate because, like, how dare you call a girl missing rib? She's a whole human. I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, so I have all these people hating on me. And I'm just like, I had to make a video. I was like, all right, guys, first things first. It's not what it looks like. Mm-hmm. I pulled out the Bible. I was like, this is what I believe. If you don't believe it, cool.
It's a metaphor.
It's a metaphor. I know. So I wasn't very good at school either, you know. I'm not a big math guy. Some people are not a big English person maybe. But, like, it's a metaphor for, like, it's my missing half. And I'm like, and I explained the story of Adam and Eve. Mm-hmm. So then, like, I think like 10,000 people saw that. Just 10,000 people. Whether it be people that loved it, people that hated it, 10,000 people just got introduced to the story of Adam and Eve. And that's how I looked at it. It was a win for God, because now these people have that door. The seed was planted. They saw the story of Adam and Eve. Which that to me means way more than nearly getting canceled because I used a metaphor. It's just, I didn't take it as hate. I took it as, okay, God, I have all these eyes on me now. Instead of using it to fight back and be like, oh my gosh, you're wrong. Let me say what I want. And like attacking, I was like, all right, you know what? It's a metaphor. Let me tell you guys the story of Adam and Eve. That means 10,000 people got introduced to the story of Adam and Eve. And I looked at it as, all right, you know what? This is awesome. Now I get to introduce people to God. And it's just almost twisting the perspective of, I don't need to show hate back. I'm just going to use this opportunity to give God glory.
Mm-hmm. Do you have anybody next on your list of like who you would want to work out with or collab with, or what's that looking like for you?
Right now, I'm trying to think. That's a great question, because I'm blessed to say I've met and hung out and lived with a lot of pretty cool guys. Like, I think part of it is just after Alex Eubank, I guess it kind of stemmed everything. A lot of people started reaching out to me. Trying to think guys I really like would love to live with. So I have a friend. So I've never met him, but we are friends on like social media, and like we're like social media friends. And, like, we'll text every now and then. But his name's Juan Cortez, and he does like really just life. It's like life joys type of stuff. I love to hang out with him and live with him. That'd be dope. We planned on it. It's coming soon. I can't say when, but it is in the works here pretty soon. But that's probably my next one. Is just I love hanging out with other Christ followers and being like, so what's your story? Because that's my favorite thing, is hearing how other people change their life and how God's changed their life. So I think it'd be dope to live with Juan Cortez and hang out with him. Other content creators, I mean, I'm trying to think of a really good one a lot of people don't know about. I'm saying I've just been blessed. I mean, going to Alpha Land at Summer Shredding, you meet a lot of people. So like I met a lot of people at Summer Shredding at Alpha Land because of that.
Were you just at this Summer Shredding?
I wasn't at that one, no. I was at a church summer camp, so I couldn't make it. But I've been in the other past 2 years. I went to those Summer Shreddings, and that's where I met a lot of my favorite people. It's really dope.
Yeah, we'll go to that one year, but Allie doesn't bodybuild, and we don't really know anybody that would like be on stage, but it would be good, networking and stuff, because everybody goes down there.
2022 was the year to go, because that's when like everyone went. I feel like 2022 was like the peak of like gym TikTok. Everyone was wanting to go to the gym. It was at its peak. So 2022 Summer Shredding was actually where I met Matthew, and because of that I built a lot of other friendships too, but I think Matthew was a really big friendship I met in 2022 at Summer Shredding anyway. Cool.
Do you have any other like big aspirations or milestones that you're trying to reach with social media?
I think right now I want to reach 100K on Instagram. That's really my big, I guess, goal. If I had to put a number out there, is I want 100K on Instagram. It used to be I want this sponsor or this sponsor, but those just, I'm not really focused on that anymore. I'm just focused on growing the platform. Those are just bound to come. Like that quote I was talking about earlier, is chasing after significance is not success. Success just follows. That's the way I look at it. Like when it comes to sponsors, is I'm not chasing, I want this clothing sponsor so bad it'll follow. I just want to focus on my content. Why am I doing it? I want to impact one person. So I think the big one's 100K on Instagram, because that would be insane if that happens. But that's really my big goal right now, is 100K on Instagram. And then I guess non-social media wise goals, I'd love to, I finished school in like 2 years at WSU, so I'm looking forward to that. And then
what are you going to school for?
Business administration and marketing. So I'd love to get a marketing job. That's the goal. I technically do marketing if you really think about it. Feel this, if you're a influencer, you're a social media marketer.
You're just selling yourself and your word and everything you got to say. But yeah, a big part of it is marketing.
Exactly.
You got to market yourself.
You know how to do that.
Have you learned anything yet from like in school that you've implemented on social media?
So I started school in fall. So I did running start in high school. So I've got my AA, my associates, my 2-year degree a year after I graduated high school. I took a year off to focus on social media. So I'm just now finishing my bachelor's. So I haven't started. I started in fall technically. So I took a year off to focus on social media, figure out what I really wanted to do, because all I really was focused on in the moment was just social media. And I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I didn't know if I wanted to go back to school or not. I didn't know if I wanted to grind social media. But then I thought about it and I was like, what's 2 more years? I can finish a bachelor's. It'd be cool to have it and I'll just learn more and it'll just make me better for my social media. So that was my main reason, is I'm going to get educated on stuff I'm doing now. So it'll better me now, and for my future, if I decide to go that career route, I have that to back me up. So we'll see. But I've heard my college advisor told me this, and it kind of made me laugh because she was like, all right, Adam, I'm going to be 100% honest with you. You might not use your degree. I was like, huh? She's like, well, you're basically doing what you're getting your degree for right now. And I'm like, okay. She's like, so you might not use it. And to be honest, 90% of the classes you take will probably be the easiest thing for you because you have experience in everything. She's like, the only thing you might struggle with is math, because I had to take my math placement exam 3 times because I'm terrible at math. But she's like, everything else you'll kill. And I'm just like, that's kind of a crazy thing about you. You're my college advisor telling me about how to use my college degree. Why am I paying for this paper then? But I'm just really excited to go back to school, though, and get more education on what I've already learned in the real world, I guess.
Yeah, I have heard that many, many, many times. One of my last podcast guests, my Mindset Mike, he got a master's degree in a couple different things, and then went to work for the FBI hostage negotiation. And they're like, yeah, you need these degrees to enter, but then you have to learn this whole new stuff, get all these new certificates, and learn from zero. So he's like, what the hell was I doing spending $100,000 a year all for nothing, just for literally a
just
piece of
entrance.
paper? It's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, so much of life is learning in the field and getting your hands dirty, getting it done, learning firsthand. You can read something out of the book, but then same thing, like working out is a perfect example. Like if you have a fat personal trainer, like they can read whatever they want to read in a book, and on paper they're certified, and on paper they know what they're doing. But unless I'm going to see somebody that's jacked and is somebody that I want to look like, I don't think you can get me there. As shallow as that sounds, I'm sorry, but respectfully, I would rather have a personal trainer that doesn't have a degree, that's jacked, that can get me jacked, than on paper it's better option.
Score don't lie. Yep. Paper don't lie. Numbers don't lie. Yeah. Scoreboard don't lie.
But I do definitely think you can find some tips and tricks, and because marketing is such a unique thing, and especially as social media grows, there's so many more tactical ways to go about how you post, when you post, what you post, where you post, that there is a lot of learning. And it's not just set up your camera at the gym and post it and it went viral. Yeah. Like there's a lot that goes into it.
There's a lot behind it. I used to think, I was like, I'm just gonna record a video, post it, and I'm gonna get famous. That's not how it works. There's so much that goes behind it. Especially me, my videos. I mean, maybe back in the day when all you had to do was pose and you went viral, I guess, but now it's just everyone does that now. So you have to find a way to be unique. I know me, I do a lot of like devotional videos. Those I have to like have the idea, pray about it, do research on what I'm about to preach about. So there's a lot of behind the scenes stuff people don't see. So social media is a lot more than just setting up a camera and saying, all right, we're good. Let's film a video, post. Yeah, I wish it was that easy. I think a lot more people would be doing it if it was that easy.
What's the hardest part for you about being an influencer?
The hardest part. I think the hardest part for me is really just comparison. You know, the saying comparison's a thief of joy. Like I look at other people that have been doing this as long as me, and I'm like, why am I not where they're at? And that's where I get in this mindset of, am I doing something wrong? Am I falling off? And it's just all this, just comparison just really ruins, I guess, my mindset when it comes to social media. But then I get in the mindset of, I'm not doing it so I can be, I guess, the biggest, my why? What is my why? And then it gets me back on track. It's just comparison is really the biggest thing for me, is getting the mindset of, it's no one else, just me versus me being better than a year ago. I'm not worried about anyone else, but definitely comparison would be the biggest thing I battle with when it comes to social media.
And so that's the most challenging thing. What's the most rewarding thing for you?
The most rewarding thing is the people that reach out and says how the people that reach out and say how you changed their life and how your videos changed life. And that's what it's all about. For me, it's just, I know how much Alex Eubank impacted me at that young age, and I want to do that for someone. And getting DMs of, I got this one DM is like, because of your videos, I'm now closer to God than I've ever been. I'm really involved with my church, and I'm the best version of myself simply because you introduced me to God. And I want to thank you for that. One person says, you saved my life. I was battling depression, suicidal thoughts. I watched one of your videos, and it brought me closer to God, and I love what you're doing. Just seeing videos saying how I got them closer to God, to me, that means the world. That means a lot more than you got me start going to the gym. Like, one DM saying you got me get closer to God means a lot more than me than you helped me to hit a bench on PR. Don't get me wrong, two great things, but one is a lot more than the other in my opinion, because for me, it's going to go God the gym always. And just seeing wins for the kingdom means the most for me. And it's so rewarding seeing God using someone like me to further his kingdom and plant those seeds. I think that's huge win for me, is seeing people get closer to God because of my content.
Do you plan on sticking around Spokane for a while? And how hard or challenging is it being in Spokane, being an influencer? Because most of the people you see online are in LA or New York or somewhere.
It is so challenging. So I wanted to move to Houston back when my social media started picking up originally. I was going to the community college at the time, and I wanted to move to Houston. I'm like, everyone's moving to Houston right now. This is the time to do it. If I do this, I'm going to grow on social media like crazy. So my parents were like, yeah, you're not doing that. You're finishing your degree in college, and then you can do that if you want. But hence why, so that year when I took school off, I was traveling every month because that was the only way I'd have true growth when I was traveling. Because in Spokane, it's just so hard to grow because I think TikTok's really location based, and when you post, it goes to people around you first. So it is really hard, I guess, have growth in Spokane. But once you get it, you keep it, and that's what's nice. So that's the challenging part, is getting that initial growth. But if you travel and you're original, you can get that growth. It's just getting that to start is really hard in Spokane.
Where were the best places that you traveled to get the most growth or had the most fun making new stuff?
I think my favorite is just Baltimore, Maryland for the Elysium gym. That gym is so nice. And just hanging out with a guy that I used to look up to a lot and spending time with him and working for his brand. Those trips are always my favorite. They take care of me there. They treat me like, they're like my second family. I love all the Elysium guys. I always preach it. Code Adam Elysium. Love those guys.
Where do you find yourself in like 3 years from now?
3 years from now. So I'll be done with college. So I felt on my heart to get almost into full ministry. So I think being some kind of pastor would be cool, whether it be a youth pastor or start going to ministry school. I'd love to be a pastor. So I could see myself working in the church. And maybe we'll have a future Mr. Ramirez. We'll see. But that's really it. Just, I want to, I guess, just really get involved with ministry and take it off of just social media. Like, I'll keep doing social media because obviously God gave me that platform for a reason. I'm going to use it. But I think I'll just be really involved with my church a lot more. I mean, I'm involved a lot right now, but I just know there's a lot more I can do. So I just see myself being a better man of God, hopefully a husband, maybe a dad. I don't know. We'll see. But it's just, I just want to be the best version of myself. As long as I get better day by day, 3 years from now, it's in God's hands, but hopefully we'll be progressed a lot more than now.
How old are you?
I'm 20. I just turned 20 like a month ago.
Oh, yeah. You're good, man. You got plenty of time for that.
Wait, how old did you think I was? Before I told you.
Like 22 or so. But I knew you were definitely young. Yeah. But 20,
I'm a younger guy.
20, what was I doing at 20? When I was 20, I was cage fighting, smoking an ounce of weed a week, selling drugs, drinking every week, partying. I had like a trap house at my little dupe. I'm not proud of it, but it was that was a whole lifetime ago for me. So I guess what I'm saying is, bro, the lady is going to come, the kid's going to come, but you're way too young to be even, hopefully you're not like worrying about that stuff.
No, I'm not stressing about it right now. Okay, no. I'm happy being single respectfully. I'm okay with not being a dad just yet.
Yeah.
But I think it'd be cool to at least have an idea of who the wife is by then. And if I'm married, cool, but it's just, I don't know. I think I just want to become the best version of myself I can 3 years from now.
Cool. That's huge. That's it. You got a pretty cool perspective for a young cat. Because like I said, when I was your age, I was not me. I mean, I grew up in the church and stuff. And then I guess life hit me. And I was like, I don't know. It just didn't weigh out how I thought it would growing up. But that's neither here nor there. We're talking about you. But yeah, that's really cool. That's inspiring to see that you're teaching this younger generation there's more to life than then bitches and money.
There is.
Because that's basically like, if there's a
It's glorified
loudspeaker,
like crazy right now.
saying a motto, over the streets, that's what I'm hearing is bitches and money. That's all that matters.
That's all that matters. Nothing else matters. This is how you find true approval from everyone, have the most money, drive the nicest cars. But for me, it's just like, nah, there's a little more to life than that. Because don't get me wrong, that does give you some kind of fulfillment. Because there was a time, like back in high school, junior, senior year, I went out and partied. I hung out with the wrong group. I was one of those guys. But it took me just realizing that's only temporary fulfillment. Like, I'll be really happy in the moment. Life will be great. I'm going to feel like I'm the guy. But 5 years from now, that's going to mean nothing. Once I got to that mindset of what's happening right now in high school 5 years from now means nothing, why am I chasing it? And I was like, so then I just always was left like an empty, like something was missing. But then I tried filling that with partying, hanging out with the wrong people. And that's where I found some kind of joy because I got approval from other people, but it still wasn't good enough. And then come God, that's where I found so much fulfillment, so much joy. The joy I got from drinking and hanging out with the wrong people, I got that from God. And once I got that joy, I was like, this is so much better than that. We're going to leave that behind. This is where I found all my joy. And that joy never leaves me. And it's so nice and overwhelming.
What do your parents think about you being a social media guy? Because that's new to them too.
It is very new to them. My mom, she's like, Adam, I don't really know any of this. You do you, cool. She's there. She supports me as much as she can, but she's not the best technologist. She's just like, she'll check in every now and then, like, oh, you're doing a good job. Well, I like this video. I'm like, appreciate it. My dad, super supportive, always there for me. He's like, all right, what's your plan? How can I help? And like, he shoots. Sometimes he'll even like hold the camera for me and help me out.
Nice.
And so dad is super supportive of me, and I would be happy to be half the man he is one day.
Do you got any siblings?
Yes, I have a younger brother and a younger sister.
How old are they? What do they think about it?
Sister just turned 18, and she's super happy. She's proud of me. Again, my family, I'm really close with my family, so they're super supportive. Honestly, they probably what kept me going. Like, my sister's always hyping me up. Like, this is my brother. So she graduated the same high school as me. And like, the people come to, is your brother Adam Ramirez? And it's just like, she's like, yeah, that's my brother. And she makes me, it's good knowing that you have that family to back you up and support you, because it keeps you strong, especially when you're getting all this hate. It's cool having those people there right away to back you up. I think for me, I have like 5 solid people who keep by me to keep me up. Because if I didn't have them and I had to do this all by myself, it'd be overwhelming. The hate, the negative comments definitely get to me. But having that family constantly supporting me means the world. So I have a sister who's always supporting me. My younger brother, he's in like elementary school. He's just now going into middle school. Same deal. He's like, this is my brother. So he thinks he's the coolest middle school ever. Like, I went to like his summer like bash thing. He's like, everyone, this is my brother. Look how big he is. Look at his muscles. And his friends are like, whoa, you're so cool. And I was like, all right, guys, let's chill out. But it was cool just, I guess, being that older brother for him. And it's cool having him look up to me. It's just being the older brother for everyone. That's how I look at social media, is like, I'm like your older brother. I'm there for you. If you need someone to talk to, I'm there for you. So that's one thing I like about social media, is like, I can be that friend that a lot of people don't have. It's really cool.
Did you lose any friends once you started all of this?
I did lose a lot. I got a lot of hate from all my friends. They definitely clowned me for it, because they're like, look at this dude making TikToks. What is he doing? Because at the time, at the time of gym TikTok, you had to do like lip sync stuff. So I was doing that stuff, mad corny looking back at it. But at the time, it worked and it pumped views. And I did it. And I remember walking to school, like, oh, look, it's Ramirez Lips. Because that was my username, Ramirez Lips. And everyone they clowned on me like crazy. And I was like, yeah, whatever. And then some of my friends I thought were my friends talked bad about my back. And it was just, I was like, all right, whatever. But yeah, I ended up losing almost all my friends. I think it's like 1 or 2 that stuck around. But again, I got the mindset of 5 years from now, this won't matter. Because like, my dad was there for me. Because I was telling him, like, Dad, these kids are clowning on me. There's this one kid, I won't say his name because that's private, but he was my biggest bully ever. Strictly because he was wanting to be where I was. He's doing it now. He's trying, and I help him out. I love helping him out, because I'm like, he wanted to be on social media. I got you, bro. So I help him out. But at the time in high school, he clowned on me like crazy. Like, he literally make TikToks hating on me, post me his prep story. Everyone go clown this guy. Let's go. Like, a lot of like crazy stuff happened. I low-key got in some danger because of it. I was like, whoa, bro, you better back off, chill out. He just completely hated me. Wanted nothing to do with me. Hated my content. Hated what I did. And he hated Alex Eubank even more. So therefore, he hated me even more. Like, it was just so much. And I was like, dang, is this true what he's saying? Because like, he clowned on my physique. And I'm like, is my body really that bad? Like, then it started like playing with my mental health. And I was just like, this sucks. And then I remember I DM'd Alex Eubank. Shout out Alex again. I sound like I beat Roddy Alex, but it's not like that, I swear. But I DM'd like, hey, Alex, I don't know how you deal with this hate, man. This sucks. Because he was like my first real hater. And I was like, he went to high school, so it made it more personal because I knew the guy personally. And I was like, how would you deal with this? I don't know what to do. Because he made this TikTok saying how he wished like I burned in a car, which is crazy. Again, that's why I'm not name dropping, because that's crazy. It's crazy.
I think you should. Fuck you, guy.
It's crazy to make a TikTok like that, but he did that, right? And I screenshot, sent it to Alex. I'm like, bro, what do I do? This is overwhelming. I don't know what to do. He's like, Adam, chill out. He's like, hate only comes from envy. That's the only way it stems from. He wishes he had the platform you had, and this platform you had. He wishes he had that, so he's hating on you because of it. And I'm like, all right. I guess you're right. He's like, just feel sorry for him and just move on. It's not like you got to see him in real life. And I'm like, all right, you're right. So I ignored it, and he kept hating on me, kept hating on me. Fast forward a year later, he texts me. Well, he snaps me, and he's like, here's me a whole paragraph. This is 2023 New Year's Day. He snaps like, hey, bro, I just want to say I'm so sorry for every single thing I've ever said or done to you. It's hit me a lot recently. I really thought about it. You didn't deserve that. I may not understand some of your concepts, but just know I'm so sorry. He's like, I'm not switching you up because like you have some kind of traction now, but just know from man to man, I'm sorry. And I was like, all right, bro, well, I forgive you and I appreciate you. If you ever need anything, I'm here for you. So he apologized. Props to him, man to man. I'm good. I'm glad he did that. It definitely felt good, because I felt good hearing that from the guy that literally made me feel so like down about myself, questioning everything. To him apologizing, like, okay. Now I see why you don't show hate, because you just ignore it and you just show love to that person. They're going to eventually apologize. And there's a lot of people in high school that made fun of me too. And again, they've all apologized. So it was just the mindset of 5 years from now, none of the stuff that happens in high school really matters. Like there's some things that matter what you do in high school, but 5 years from now, these friends I have now, these bullies I have now, they don't mean anything outside high school. And then once I adopted that mindset, life was just so much peaceful, and it's great. But the guy's really cool now, though. He might be on steroids. He might be jacked, but he's cool.
Hey, I don't think you're cool. I don't know you, but you ain't cool. That ain't cool. That ain't cool. That's kind of stuff that you can't just forget. You can forgive him, but you don't forget that stuff.
Yeah, I don't forget it. Because I feel like this life is way too short to hold grudges with someone. A lot of people have done me wrong. A lot of people have hurt me, but I don't hold on to that. Because at the end of the day, it's going to hold me back. Like, this person can completely move on in life, it's still going to hold me back. So I'm just like, you know what? I don't want this. I'm just going to let it go. Because again, I will never progress if I'm held back with something that I'm held by someone who wants something to do with me. Because if you let someone hate on you and you listen to that hate, it's going to dictate where you land in life. So I'd rather let God dictate where I land in my life rather than a hater. So I just ignore it, because I'm like, at the end of the day, we're the same human. We're the same. We're the same. Like, there's no difference between me and you. I'm going one way, you're going one way. If I listen to you, you're going to hold me back and you're going to keep going. So why would I do that? I don't want to be held back. Like, that's dumb. So I just ignore. I don't forget it. Like, obviously it's there, but I just forgive, because I'm like, there's no point in me holding on to this, because it's just going to hold me back from becoming the best version of myself. And that's just my mindset. I try not to have any enemies, because I'm like, I don't want to be held back, because I want to be the best version of myself, and having enemies is going to hold me back.
And I do think there is a difference between like hating somebody and never wanting to see him again, compared to just like you're nothing to me. You're not my friend, you're not my enemy, but like if we're in the same room together, that's fine. I don't care. Yeah. You mean nothing to me. Like, you do your thing, I'm gonna do my thing.
That's fair.
Like, we don't gotta be friends.
That's one way to approach it.
That's it. Like, I'm not giving you any energy, negative or positive.
Yeah, I think for me, it's just, I try to keep everyone at acquaintance level. Like, there's some guys who's like, you're my homie, we're tight. But most people, I'm just like, we're all here. We're all equal. You might do me dirty, but that's cool. I just try to love everyone, even if they don't deserve it. I know I'd want that, Because then I put myself in his shoes. And, like, if it was the opposite way, I'd probably react the same way. If I saw this guy doing all this stuff at a young age, I'd low-key probably hate on me too. So then it's like, I feel like that was me. I'd want that guy to be forgiving. That's what I'd want. I'd want some kind of forgiveness. I'd want him to forgive me, because I just look at it from his perspective. If I was in his shoes, I'd want that dude to forgive me, because I realize the type of guy I am. Because imagine, I gotta just put myself in that. Imagine if I hated on someone, did all these terrible things, and then I apologize because I feel terrible, and he just says, nah. You wish?
Yeah, that would suck.
Like, I showed you no love, bro. You're an op. I'm gonna forget about it. I'm putting you on blast. I'm gonna name drop you. We're getting everyone to hate on you. I'm gonna show everyone what you did. Like, no, like, I want I'm going to forgive you because I wish I had that. Because then there's some things where I've done in my life where I'm like, dang, why did I do that? And it's ruined some friendships. And I know that if that person ever came back to me and was like, I forgive you, let's move past this, that's what matters, you know? You know, in the Bible it talks about love, and it's in, why am I blanking on? I think 1 Corinthians, it talks about how love never fails and love keeps record of no wrong. Now love, I don't mean that like romantic way, like I mean it love in general with people, you know. I don't keep record of wrong because that's true love according to the Bible is you keep no record of wrong. You're always there for them. It's never failing. And that's the type of love God has. I try to have love like that for people. Even if they don't deserve it, I'm going to still love on them because that's how God is with me, you know. I made plenty of mistakes to put me far away from God. I'm a sinful person, but God has always been there for me. Like, all right, son, get back up. Let's get to work. So I try to reflect that love to people because it's how God loved me. So why would I... That's like almost selfish if God's loving me one way and I'm not loving his people the same way. Because it's like kind of like double-edged sword where it's like, yes, God, thank you. Now I'm going to hate this guy. So I try to just reflect God's love, even if they don't deserve it. I don't deserve God's love. He still loves me. So that's the way I look at it. It's just a reflection of what God's done for me. I'm going to do that to his people.
There's a lot to that. I think God should have had the old 3-strike rule. I mean, 3 strikes is a lot.
He's got the 77 times 7 rule.
But the thing is, I mean, just how, like, let's take your breakup, for example. Your pastor said, don't worry, there's a lot of other girls out there. How come it's not the same thing for, like, this bully? You keep forgiving him. What about, like, you know, fuck him. You don't got to be friends with him. Be with somebody that wants to be your friend. Like, where do you find that line between, I don't know, I guess those kind of compared to the same thing where it's like, if it's not her, it could be her. What about, like, for friendship?
I mean, same kind of with exes too, though. Like, my exes, again, I think I've only dated, like, one girl, like, actually dated her. And we're just on acquaintance terms. Like, it's not like we hate each other or you're my biggest enemy. Obviously I don't reach out to her. She doesn't reach out to me. But, like, if we were in the same room, we'll have, like, small talk. And that's how it is with, like, I'm sure this ex-bully, if you will. If we're in the same room, I think I saw him at like a grad party and I dapped him up. I was like, yo, what's good, bro? How's life? And just it was small talk. And that's where I'm not going to be your buddy, but I'll be nice to you because I'm try to be a nice guy. Because, again, I want that for me. I want people to be nice to me. So I'm not going to, again, act like we're going to be best friends, but I'll be nice to you just because I feel like that's the right thing to do.
Gotcha.
So it's like, I'm not saying that I'm going to be their best friend, but I will be your friend enough to care about you, make sure you're doing good, and move on from there. Just guard your heart at the end of the day, you know?
Gotcha. That makes sense. I could stand by that. Because some people, man, some people are just mean and jealous and envious, and there's no place for that. The internet is big enough for everybody. Absolutely. The internet is, I mean, it's like, it's infinite. It's like what God talks about with, like, the universe and love. Like, there's enough for everybody. It's never going to stop growing. Everybody can get a part, and everybody can fill their full cup. And you're going to be fine. I'm going to be fine. I'm not going to clog up a corner of the internet for you to not get your likes.
There's a lot.
Yeah. What else do you think needs to be said about, like, shining God's light through social media?
I think a big thing is make sure you're doing it for God's glory, not your own. Because I see these videos on my TikTok where it's like, do you have 10 seconds for God? Or the videos that are like, if you love God, do not skip this video. Or share this with 5 friends if you actually love God. At that point, it's pretty obvious most of the time they're not doing it for God. They're doing it so you can get their views up, get their shares, doing it for the algorithm. So I think one thing is huge is making sure you're doing it for God's glory. You know, I had to keep myself humble. Because sometimes where I'm like, I'm going to say this so it goes viral.
But as devil's advocate, pun intended, don't you think there is something to that? I mean,
I've made a video about this. I think it did really, really well because I started my videos, do you have 30 seconds for God? So I used that, but I twisted it. I was like, to be honest, no, I don't. That's what I said right after that. And people were like, what do you mean, no, I don't? I was like, I don't have 30 seconds. I have my whole life to live for God. So, like, I twisted that just because I feel like guilt tripping people into Christianity or any religion isn't right. I think it's It's okay to preach it. If they don't want to listen, cool, swipe. But I think guilt tripping is not the best way to go about it. But that's just my opinion. Everyone has their own opinions. There's no one right or wrong answer. So, but I just think as long as you just keep yourself humble if you're a Christian content creator and realize why you're doing your why. Are you doing it so your numbers can go up? Because if Christianity's, I think it's like one of the top religions. Are you doing it so your numbers will go up? Or are you doing it to further God? Just keep that in your mind, because if you're doing it for you, God will humble you, and it's not a fun time. Because I've been there before, and God humbles me. Again, not a fun time.
What's your besides Alex, because that's up there, what's your favorite like gym story?
My favorite gym story, I think benching 290 was crazy. That was great because I benched 290 at 170 body weight, which is insane because I don't like power lift, I don't body, but I just lift. And I think that was really crazy when that happened because I wasn't expecting it. This was like, I hit it on my 20th birthday. I went to the gym. I was supposed to hit legs. It was a leg day. Mm-hmm. But I walk in,
Classic.
and the front desk guy, he's like, what do you got? He's like, I got legs. But it's my birthday. I look at what a PR on bench. He's like, I say you do it. I'm like, but I just hit chest. He's like, Adam, I think your chest is ready for a PR. And I'm like, you're right. So we go to the bench. I moved 280 like crazy because my old max was 275. 280 moved. And I'm like, do we dare go for more? He's like, let's do it. I'm like, I bet. So we load up 290 and I get it like 3/4 of the way up, fell. And I'm like, dang. He's like, run it back. I'm like, all right. And then I get it the second time. Super hype. I think that was really my fun gym story. My most recent one anyway is hitting that PR because that was huge. 290 is, I never thought I'd even touch that weight. Old skinny cross country me benching 290 does not believe, he wouldn't believe that I'm benching 290 now. So it's cool. Just reflecting on how far I've come.
Yeah, that's huge. I've never been close to that. So that's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. It's the HS, Holy Spirit.
I need some of that. Give me some new PRs.
I got you, bro.
What's the like? Do you have any embarrassing gym stories or anything like that?
Oh, okay. This is probably the most embarrassing thing I've ever done in a gym. So when we were on the TikTok come up, this is fresh out of Maryland. I was about to reach 10K on TikTok, and I was like, all right, guys, if we reach 10K by tomorrow, I'm gonna wear a sports bra to the gym. I hit 10K in like 5 minutes, and I was like, oh. So I was a man of my word. The video's out there on TikTok somewhere years and years ago, but I straight up put on a sports bra and lifted in the gym and hit chest day. Me and my gym bro did that. Shout out to my OG gym bro. We walked in at a public gym in sports bras and lifted. We got a lot of weird looks. We got some compliments, but that was definitely the most embarrassing thing. That definitely put me on my comfort zone and gave me some confidence. I'm like, if I could do this, I could really do anything.
Yeah, seriously.
So, but that was the most embarrassing. I was wearing a sports bra. And I remember the employee was like, why are you wearing a sports bra? He's like, was it a dare? Are you doing some initiation? I'm like, no, it's for TikTok. He's like, oh, okay.
Makes sense. You can do just about anything these days and be like, it's for TikTok. And then be like, all right.
That's valid. That's valid.
Mm-hmm. What are you most grateful for?
Most grateful for? That's deep because I can answer that in so many ways. I think I'm just grateful for my family. Honestly, if I had to answer that, I'm grateful for my family. Just a lot of people have different relationships with their family members. Me, my family's really, really always there for me. If I ever am in pain, they're there to listen and help me feel better. If I'm ever down, they're there to pick me up. I think it's just having a really strong bond with my family. I'm so grateful for that. Because if I had parents that didn't support social media, siblings hated me, it'd be really hard to do this all on my own. But having parents and siblings who are always there checking up on me, praying over me, it keeps me going. And I'm really grateful for having a family. They're always there. Having a family always there for me.
What do you got to say to that kid in school right now that maybe just bought his first camera or is deciding to go to the gym and post on social media?
Just keep going. Stay consistent. Be unique, and it'll happen in the right timing. Because it'll happen. If you're consistent and keep showing up, the door will open. You just got to keep knocking. Knock, knock. Not today. Knock, knock. Not today. Just keep knocking at the doors. And one of these days, that door will open in God's time. It's just keep showing up, be unique, and it'll happen. It's just a lot of people give up right before they get to that point of making it, I guess. So just remember, keep showing up. I'm gonna say yes. Hashtags and using a sound. Cause like I'll use this like a random trending sound, put it like volume 1. So I think they do, but some people say they don't. I just like I've been using the same hashtag for like 2 years. So I've never not used a hashtag. So I can't say they do or don't, but I'd say they do from what I've learned anyway.
Do you have any other small insider baseball tips or tricks for posting?
Small tips or tricks.
Or just like any superstitions that you do, or maybe even subconsciously.
Subconsciously?
Like, do you always post at a certain time, or do you
So
always...
yeah, I know on Instagram I try to post either at 9 a.m. or 10 a.m. because that's noon on the East Coast or 1 on the East Coast. That's like my on Instagram. That's my thing. TikTok I kind of post whenever. I know back years ago used to be post on TikTok as much as you can and you'll do good. It might still be the same way. I don't know. I've slowed down on TikTok, but Instagram it's just posting at 9 or 10 a.m. That's what works best for me. And a lot of other people, you'll see that. So 9 or 10 a.m. is the golden hour to post. And then other superstition things I do, I pray before my post, which is crazy, but I do. I'm like, God, let this impact one person. And if it impacts a million, cool, but just let it do what you want to do with it. And that's like my like thing is I'll pray before my posts, but I pray for my followers too. It's just putting it on God's hands. Like everything I do, I try to be led by Christ. Every decision I make, every route I go, is being led by Christ, and it's brought me where I am. So that's my thing is praying for my post. You don't have to do that, but I'd say it helps.
Do you answer all your DMs and stuff still? Because I know some people, once they get to a certain level, they have a manager that does all that kind of stuff.
No, I respond to all my DMs myself constantly. Every night, I just go through requests, reply, because there isn't, like I said, in my opinion, no matter how big I get, I never want to get the head of, I'm up here, you're down here. It's always, we're the same person. I go to college, I have a job, and I do social media, and I am a youth leader. There's no difference, and I'll try to always keep that, stay humble. So I'm always replying to DMs constantly. No matter what the DM is, I'm there replying to you. If you need someone to talk to, I'm there. You need someone to vent to, I'm there. So I try to always be there for everyone in my request.
That's huge. Well, we're about to wrap it up. Do you got any other shout outs, and where can they find you? Anybody else you want to throw out? Anything you want to get off your chest?
So to that bully, not playing. So to you, no. Big thing is Instagram, Adam Ramirez, TikTok, Adam Ramirez, and I guess the sponsors too. Elysium, code Adam, Alpha Line, code HS, and get some Celsius. Celsius is really good. Other than that, if I had to leave with one thing, just put God first and everything else will fall into place. Live by that and life will be pretty good. Leave it at that. And thank you for having me. I appreciate it. This is cool. It's like some ASMR. Hello.
Yeah, right.
And the audio is like crisp. Okay, my fault. But yeah, that's really it. And then shout out God. God did. That's so corny. There's no way to say that. Okay.
DJ Khaled insert here.
Insert DJ Khaled.
All right, man.
Yeah.
Well, thank y'all for tuning in. Make sure you go follow him. Check out his content. Thank you for coming by. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
And see you guys next time. Peace.
Peace.